Good morning, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts, and I'm here with a recap of yesterday's market. You may have seen on my community tab, I just didn't have it in me to make a video yesterday. There was a bit of an oopsie, but I'll get to that in order here. Let's see, for this show, I actually got out the door on time. I've never been to this show before. I tried doing it 2 years ago, and it got snowed out, and I couldn't make the reschedule date. And then last year it conflicted with another show, so this year I get to do it. My first impression, well, from emails ahead of time, very good communication from the coordinators. Map of the building, like here's where you're going to park, and then once you've unloaded, move your car to here, and there'll be students to help you. Very well organized. I walk in, there's a table of muffins, bagels, donuts, coffee, bottled water for the vendors. Couldn't have any of the treats because they had gluten, but it was a very nice gesture to supply breakfast for the vendors. And I brought my first load in, just like a rolling bag and a bag I could carry over my shoulder. And they led me right to where my table was. The organizer said, "Oh, you have your own table, right?" "Yes." Calls over a student. "Trey, she has a table. Can you go out with her and bring her table in?" Whoa. Student helpers on demand. So, got it in. I think I brought in a cart full while he brought in the table and another bag. A strong teenage boy. He could handle a table in one hand and a bag in the other. Then I took the cart back out and brought in the last of the stuff. So I only had to make 2 trips in. Then I had to go out and move the car. When I moved the car, I had to bring in my coffee and my phone, which I had forgotten in the car. Okay. Got everything set up. There's a picture of how far away from the wall my table was. They gave you so much room behind the table and so much room around the table. It wasn't one of these shows where you're back to back with somebody else and you have to ask permission to move your chair. Like, "Oh, excuse me, I've got to get out of here. Could you pull your..." No, so much room. I could have brought my small 4-foot table that I use in here as a desk for my laptop. I could have brought that and set that up and still had plenty of room for my neighbors. Got everything set up. People started coming in at 10:14. I had my first sale. There were a couple of ladies who were looking at my stuff, and one of them homed in on my bin of snakes. I think I have a picture of that side of my display with the little cube that I had full of snakes. And she picked up and she goes, "Why don't your snakes have tongues?" I said, "Oh, I just forget to put them on." "Oh, I wish this snake had a tongue." I said, "I can put one on." "Oh, but I don't have any red yarn." She goes, "Do you have black?" Black would look really good on this snake. So I did have some black yarn. I keep a little ball of black yarn in my craft bag for when I need to embroider features on my amigurumi that I make. So I put a little black tongue on. She bought the rainbow snake for $12. And she was just, "Oh, he's going to love this. Oh, he likes making snake sounds." So she said he's a young boy who's on the autism spectrum and is just fascinated with snakes. And he's nonverbal, but he likes to do s sound when he sees a snake. So he's going to love this. He's going to love this. Yay, first sale. And then her friend who was with her, bought a bee. Just a little bee that I make from the pattern on my blog for $8. So within the first half hour or so of the show, I got 2 sales that almost paid for my table. And then a little while later, about half an hour later, a young boy says, I'm getting the Highland cow. Okay, I've paid for my table and I'm sold out of Highland cows. I need to make some more Hilde the Highland Cow by Yarn Society. I don't know when. I gotta get some made. And then just a little bit after that, somebody came along and she was looking at my stuff and she bought the bunny that I made from the pattern from a kit. Not the bunny from the kit, but when I updated the pattern, I rewrote the pattern. The head and the body were made separately, and I rewrote it so that it was all one piece, less sewing. And she bought the bunny that I made with my own yarn. And around this time, this little girl comes wandering through with her dad. And she goes, do you have any snakes? It's right there. There's a whole bin of them. And she's going through and she's like, how much are the snakes? And I said, well, they're all individually priced. Well, this one doesn't have a price tag. And she points to the gray and silver snake. Gray and pink. Silver and pink. And $7. Okay, Dad, I want this snake, $7. And he goes, no. You've been saying you want something at every table. We're going to go around and you're going to decide one thing that you want to get. So they left. And I'm like, yeah, he says to me, we'll be back. I've heard that before. Doesn't usually happen. Okay. Then someone came along and bought 2 of my little balls. $2 each. $2 each or 2 for $3. Bought 2 of them. Yep. Fun scrap yarn project that I can, got a little bit of yarn left over every once in a while. I just make up a bunch of them. I think I'm down to 5 now. So it's another $3 purchase, just a little bit more. Then someone bought one of my mushroom ducks. Yay! Well, at 1:20, that little girl came back for the snake. Her father goes, we walked around this whole place. And at every table, she's telling me, nope, I'd rather have the snake. I like this, but I'd rather have the snake. Yep, so we're back for the snake. And he gets the snake. Okay, here's his mistake. He said, are you sure? Didn't just hand over the money and take the snake and run. He said, are you sure? No, I think I'm going to look around a little more. And she looks around a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. He's like, Jackie, come on, Jackie. Jackie, we can't be here all day. Jackie, make up your mind. What's in that basket? Little ball. No. What's in that? Possums. Oh, I want a possum. Okay, there's a purple possum, a brown possum, and a gray possum. Gray possum. So that was it. She got a gray possum. And she left poor Mr. Snake behind. He had such high hopes for going to a new home. But Mr. Snake was left behind. A little bit after that, someone bought the purple and gray Loaf cat from Homespun Yarn that I just made last week or the week before. Okay, another new item gone. Purple and the beaded hedgehogs that I made this week. I sold one. The purple and white beaded one. And then there's this lady, she's coming along. And she's just looking at stuff. She goes, would you by any chance have a walrus? I said, yes, if I can find it. Katie at Yarn Society, the creator of Hilde the Highland Cow, also has a pocket walrus. Little no-sew walrus, just a little cube, maybe 3 inches each direction. And I had made one of those up in sort of a fuzzyish worsted weight yarn. And I had a pretty good idea of where it was. And I looked through and I found it. And I held it up to her. And she's just like, oh, that is perfect. Okay. Okay. She says her daughter has a Jeep. And some people with the Jeep, they have a bunch of ducks lined up on the dashboard. She collects walruses. And she has walruses lined up on the dashboard of her Jeep. And this was just the perfect size. This lady also took my business card because I told her I made a walrus once before, but it was this really big one that was like $35. And I pulled it up on Ravelry and showed her a picture of it. And she goes, I'm taking your card. So I might get like a big walrus order from that. That was at 1:52. Then my last sale of the day came at 2:30. The show went till 3. I sold one of my dress-up ducks. I sold the one with the red hat. So it was a low average show. The total was $137 in sales with a $25 table fee. So I only netted $112. That made it place 40 out of 140 shows. So hey, it wasn't my best show, but there were 100 shows that were worse than this one. So then, it was time to go. I got everything all packed up. While I was packing stuff up, I had teens come up to me 3 times to ask if I needed any help. But it's just, I have an order to things. Like, okay, all the dinosaurs go in this bag, and this bag is for farm and forest creatures, and this bag is for ocean creatures. So, no. Once I've got everything packed up, then if you bring a cart, you can help. Well, once I got everything packed up, no teens, no carts to be had. So I put two of the biggest things, my 2 big totes, and the heaviest thing, these milk crates that have my wire cube squares in them. Put those on the cart. Figure, okay, I'll wheel these out to the car. And I had put the milk crate at the back of the cart, put the totes in front of it, and I have this rope, crocheted rope, that's tied to the handle of my cart. Tossed that over and was holding it, like I pull it tight and hold it with the handle as I push, so that the stuff at the front has got something holding it in. Well, I rounded a corner and there was a little bump in the sidewalk. And the milk crate somehow slid off and slipped right in front of my left foot. I tripped on it. And it was one of these, happens like this, but you're sort of in slow motion. I tried to regain my balance. I couldn't. I knew I was going down. Now, years and years ago, probably decades ago, I have a friend who was a retired prison guard. He was still guard at the time. And he did a demonstration. I don't know if it was for kids or if it was for a ladies thing. When you fall, how to fall to minimize injury. Like when you fall, you twist so that you land like on your shoulder or on sideways on your shoulder, and then roll with it so that you're lessening the impact. So I did. And I just have like a bruise scrape on my shin and my leg from where I hit the milk crate, either as I was going down or when it tripped me. But there were like 3 or 4 ladies all around. Are you okay? Are you okay? Helping me up. I don't know if I totally tipped the cart when I fell, but the bigger totes had fallen off. One of them popped open. There was stuff all over them. These ladies are picking it up, and they got my cart reset, put everything back on the cart for me. And one of them goes, "You just fell so gracefully. And the way that you rolled, that was also graceful." So, okay, if you gotta fall in front of others, do it gracefully. I don't even have a bruise really to show for it. There's just a little red mark, but there is some swelling. it was hurting last night. Oh, when I got home, I just wanted to sit in my chair under my covers with my leg up and just relax, which I did. And then I took a nighttime pain medicine, slept over 8 hours, woke up feeling considerably better. It doesn't hurt as much today. So at first, like last night, I was thinking, oh, am I going to have to cancel the Thursday, Friday show that I'm doing this week? No, I think I'm on. I will just be much more careful about how I pack my cart. Keep an eye on things. Make sure the load's not shifting as I go. So that's it. That's the report. And now I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 3 days. I would love to just leave everything in my car rather than bring it into. I think, but I have to go grocery shopping. So I think I'm going to just empty the back seat. There's only, I think, 2 bags left in the back seat. If I empty the back seat, I can put groceries in there when I need to go shopping, and then just leave everything else. I don't know if I'm going to have all that much time to do much restocking this week. I do still have the custom order, and I'm running a little bit behind with getting the first dragon done. After the dragon, there comes a doll and then a unicorn. And I wanted to have the dragon done last week. Didn't happen. So custom order is going to be pretty high on the priority list this week. Okay, that's it. Time to go change out of church clothes into play clothes, play with yarn a bit, make dinner, probably take a nap because that's what Sunday afternoons are for, and play with yarn some more. So